I have a very, very dark and interesting David theory for you guys today. I think, allegedly, in my opinion, that David's team is actually using a very, very smart strategy to try and get very important and damning key evidence thrown out of the trial before he does go to trial, and I think he is using people on social media to do it. Now, if you followed this channel, you'll know that I've covered some of the really dark leaks of information that have been coming out from David, including there was this video that was going around that showed allegedly David's YouTube search history, a whole bunch of dark, weird, dirty, incriminating stuff. Then also you've got David's songs, his albums, his music videos, all of this stuff that he put out in his career. And on top of that, we heard rumors last week that David might actually be planning to release his Marcescence, the Withered Deluxe album that was originally planned to release around September. It ended up getting shelved because of the murder of Celeste and her body being found in his Tesla. And now they were saying last week that David was planning to drop it. They changed all of his Spotify pages and they put apparently a scheduled post up on YouTube, but then that all disappeared. And now they're trying to say that it was a hoax, but it's possible that it might not have been a hoax. It might have been all one dastardly plan to try and muddy the waters and get key evidence thrown out. I think something crazy is going on right now, okay? So I'm going to show you some pretty damning stuff that might convince you, just in your opinion, okay, that David's team is doing a genius defense strategy to get all of the most just awful, incriminating stuff thrown out, and he's potentially, perhaps, in some people's opinion, allegedly using people on social media to do his bidding, okay? So basically, I think what they're trying to do is make it seem like his social media accounts, his music accounts, his YouTube, all of these different accounts on different websites and different platforms, they're trying to make it look like he's compromised. These platforms are compromised. David's not the one uploading. You can't trust or verify any of the stuff that's been put up there. And apparently they have been using this prolific Discord and Reddit user, okay, by the name of, let me pull it up here, by the name of Will, aka Mega QT. Left boob. This is looking like a ridiculous joke, but this is apparently what's going on. So you probably do remember, all right, this TikTok that was posted by Mega Cutie, which purported to show David's YouTube search history, and we did a full breakdown of this. It has been removed, but luckily I've got a backup, gang. Luckily I've always got a backup, always backing stuff up. Hang on, the backup's not here. What on earth? So look, that post has been duly scrubbed from the internet now, and admittedly, when I did my reaction to it, I said, you know, we can't be certain that that is exactly what was on David's history, but here is where we get to money in the waters, and this is why this is so interesting. So here's a screenshot thread of it going around a month ago on Reddit, and as you can see here, it was posted by Mega Cutie. Okay, you can see the name there. You can see that is the person who posted this on their TikTok account, all right? We're going to dig deep here. We're going to expose everybody, all right? And basically, this is screenshots from that TikTok, all right? And it basically went through a whole bunch of very damning and incriminating videos that were allegedly on David's YouTube account in his history. Basically, you know, the unaccompanied minor policy. It was almost a little bit too good to be true. Some people were saying, I don't know if this is true because it's a little bit too obvious. It's all the obvious stuff you would look up on YouTube if you'd done this specific murder. How to erase your MacBook, how to delete your Instagram chat from both sides, how to delete Snapchat conversations, games with awesome dismemberment. It jumped the shark a little bit. If you know the phrase, jump the shark, it refers to like TVs and movies when they do a plot line that's so ridiculous, so unbelievable, like somebody jumping over a shark. It stops you being able to believe what was going on. And I do think that this jumped the shark a little bit here. So very, very interesting. Okay, so that basically has been scrubbed from the internet. But luckily, your boy's got a screenshot from when I broke it down last time. All right, and I can show you the post, and I can read to you. This was the description. Okay, Mega Cutie. All right. I wish we didn't have this. Hello, my name is Will. Before anything, I would like to preface that I obtained these accounts from David himself, and I didn't do any illegal activities to gain access to them. I figured now would be a more appropriate time to post these haunting and disturbing pieces of information for the media and general public who would never get to see these things. I believe that this will be very useful for the public. The facade David played all in my time of knowing him surprises me greatly, and I'm very sad he's gone down this terrible path. I wish only justice for the poor girls he's hurt and ultimately destroyed the lives of, and of the family of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. I truly only wish the best for your family and everyone close. Thank you and God bless you all. David, justice for Celeste, David's Tesla. All right. Now, he put this out for who? For who? The media and the general public. It wasn't the general public first. It wasn't concerned parents. It was the media. It was me. They wanted me to make a video about this, right? But now I'm looking at it with different eyes. Now I'm thinking, hang on a minute. Was this all a ploy? Okay. So basically, what we ended up seeing, okay, as you can see from this post that's on screen now, the person who put this up, Mega Cutie, aka Will. Hello, my name is Will. Will, you say? Okay, now in a now deleted Reddit post by somebody claiming to be Will, aka Mega Cutie, they posted this as proof that they had been sent a package by Colleen Roberts, aka Colleen Roberts Burke, David's mother. So they sent this, all right, as basically a shipping label to say, I was sent this PlayStation 5 that had David's YouTube still logged in on it by his mum. This is the UPS store that shipped it. It went to Will. This is me. This is proof. I have David's PS5. That's how I've got his information. Okay. Now, how does this relate to David's recent alleged botched album release? Well, people, all right, we're going to go deep in the rabbit hole. This was going around. You probably saw the video I did a few days ago. Now I've been on vacation for 3 days. If you've been wondering where I've been, I had a little vacation. It was much needed, but also it was much regretted because I really would have rather been making content and keeping you guys updated on everything going on. But regardless, all right, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to take another break until Christmas. But anyway, I took a few days off. All right. I did drop the video not too long ago about, David allegedly planning to make a comeback to music, allegedly planning to release music. Now, that was backtracked very quickly. And people were saying it was a hoax, but I don't think it was a hoax. So let me just recap in case you didn't see that, okay? This was going around 8 days ago. They said Withered Deluxe is 100% releasing soon. They changed the background of his Spotify. Said after his bio on Spotify changed from Withered to Mars Essence, and always loved background changing to the cover of his deluxe album. And now this, I can say with all my heart that this, or at least was, that this is, or at least was going to release. How do we feel about this? So it was looking like the album was going to come out, and there was all kind of clues. And it wasn't just, they changed his display picture and his bio for a laugh. They changed a whole bunch of things that you would have to know your way around Spotify to do. They changed his bio, all right? They're changing profile pictures. They're changing, oopsie daisy. They were changing like the visuals in the background when you look at albums. They changed the header image. And again, I pointed out very astutely that the header image, this was the Mars Essence cover art, which was from his Finsta account. Some pictures that he had posted to his Finsta account around the turn of the new year in 2025. And originally the Mars Essence cover art was going to be this with a bunch of paper figures kind of drawn out with David at the front of them, a sort of Pied Piper, bunch of kids following him making music kind of vibe and dancing. And they removed those because one of them looked like they had a severed arm. And it seemed like somebody that actually knows their way around Photoshop and these Spotify platforms changed this. It wasn't just some dumb kid. Okay. Now, soon after this, people started muddying the waters. They started saying David's Spotify profile, it's been hacked. I'm fairly confident his Spotify's been hacked. It's not really a release. Might be late to this post. Other people have caught onto this too, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to post about it anyway. Apologies if it's already been said before, though. As other people have been posting in this subreddit, David's profile picture and banner art, along with multiple other aspects of his profile, have been changed. Leading people to believe the Withered Deluxe album is dropping soon. I'm pretty sure this is just David's artist profile being hacked, however, muddying the waters. All the changes that have been made to his profile are changes that can easily be made by someone logged into his artist profile, like changing banners, profile pics, song canvases, etc. Along with that, I haven't been able to find changes to his profile on other streaming services. For example, nothing's changed on Apple Music as far as I can tell. Spotify artist profiles being hacked isn't a new thing. I'm pretty sure Juice WRLD's profile got hacked about 3 times at this point. This is all just my own theory on what's going on, though. And I could be entirely wrong. Let's just wait and see if anything else comes out of this. People saying, yeah, I was realizing that because if his team was really dropping, they would have made changes to his YouTube channel. But then we heard that they were planning to do some stuff to his YouTube channel. People saying, I'm fairly confident this is not a hacker. New artwork for his profile and new banner. Even the old album cover with a sketch of 3 people and him on a beach was edited. 3 people are gone from the picture, and now it's just a sketch of him. Now tell me, why would a hacker go out of their way to make all that change? He doesn't belong to any big label anymore. Interscope silently dropped him months ago. All his music is now listed under his own little label called David ENT LLC. It's more possible that his family is in charge of his accounts, and hence Apple Music removed as much of his feature songs as they can. YouTube demonetized him months ago, so they won't be making changes to his profile because there's no or less income there, while Spotify is still boosting his income. People say, not going to lie, I don't think a David fan, hacker, or David hater would go out of their way to make multiple new animated artwork artworks for songs, and even a new album cover. I think it's probably going to drop, and this just happened, so we'll see if his other platforms update as well. Very interesting. And then people noticed after the date had passed that his Spotify returned back to normal. Not after the date had passed, but a few days after that was going around, a few days before the date was supposed to happen. So his Spotify suddenly went back to normal, right? They took those pictures down, they changed it back, turned back to withered rather than marcescence. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to take all the credit, but I feel like I talked about this when it first came out, and then suddenly it changed back. I felt like they got spooked and they realized people like me were going to notice this, and that there was going to be huge backlash, and that this was a plan to kind of muddy the waters before David actually had these trial dates next week that are going to be damning. I felt like they botched it and pulled it back, and they said, oh shit, this is a bad look, let's not release. All right, so Spotify's been reverted to how it looked previously. I believe someone got access through his team unknowingly. I don't believe it was their doing. So looks like no deluxe is coming, and rightfully so. Much ado about nothing. People saying you replied to it though. They're saying, yeah, as an artist myself who uses Spotify for artists, not going to lie, I feel like it's probably pretty easy for some random to gain access to any account if they make the application believable enough, because there's a thing where you can apply to have access to an artist profile, and hypothetically, you could just make shit up and claim you're part of their team. That's probably what happened here. People saying, I wonder where they got the specific pics from, though, because I never saw them before. But we know the pictures are from his beach pics. But then they say it probably is. But then it's like, why did they get into his YouTube account? I'd say it's harder to get into a YouTube account. And they scheduled this Marcescence drop on July the 17th, which was yesterday. People saying, oh, it's fake, it's fake. This shows that people have no life and they just watch this man's Spotify. What's next? Going to dox his parents? Going to watch his commissary account? And when money gets added into it, they're going to be posting who added money into this account. That's actually what was going on. But anyway, okay. People saying, I hope there isn't someone who thinks the label got scared of the backlash and decided to go back to old settings. I'd hope not. I think backlash over Spotify appearance is the least of their worries. All right? I think that's what was going on. People saying his team knows what they're doing, G. I think so. People are doubting it, but I think the team knew what was going on. So there was more proof, more evidence, all right? They said deluxe dropping was a hoax. It was a hoax. I don't know if it was a hoax. I think them saying that it was a hoax is protesting a little too much, if you ask me. It says, as you can see in the images attached, his Spotify reverted back to normal, except for his bio still being Marcescence. This is the thing. This is the thing, all right? And Left Boob, let's not forget, this is the person we were talking about from the very start, all right? This is Mega Cutie, a.k.a. Will, all right? How they know they know a little too much, all right? So this is a little back and forth from a Discord. They said Withered Deluxe will most likely not be dropping. Someone apparently got access to one of the team's admin accounts for David and altered the profile pics and shit. However, nobody was aware, because, I mean, the last place you check would be an admin's account. Thank you, Left Boob, for the information. He had all the information. Here's the thing. You're minimizing it, aren't you? They altered the profile pics and shit. They didn't alter the profile pics and shit. They altered the profile pictures, the banner image, the bio, the animated video, moving video that plays in the background of all the other songs of his from his old catalog to an original animated video that related to the new Withered release. That's not just and shit. That's actually quite a deep, coordinated update that you'd have to have access to some animations. That's not just changing a profile picture to troll, all right? That is changing it to things that you would need. Somebody working on a real album level rollout would know how to do those sorts of things. That's not just some dumb kid that's trying to update a profile picture to troll, okay? They did all of that. I personally believe that this was a real planned rollout, and then they got cold feet, right? Left Boob seems to know so much about this. Everything should be reverted back to normal within the week or next. Oh yeah, how do you know so much? And this is where the little fake defense starts popping up, right? And this is where I feel like maybe, allegedly, in my opinion, David's team might actually be responsible for this to muddy the waters. Too many people have access to his accounts. This is going to become an issue in court. OP, who said this was a hoax. I could definitely see someone hacking in and changing his pic to the mugshot and making the bio, I killed her, or some BS like that. It could defo become an issue. So is that what we're going to see next? Seems like the bio's changed back to Withered. All right. This made me wonder if David gets convicted, hopefully he does, if his team will release some of his unreleased catalog for the 3 fans who want more music to him, or if his profiles will be completely abandoned. They said it's irrelevant to the case. He was hacked after he landed behind bars, and they only reviewed the evidence they already They already seized. I have no idea why anyone would believe a label would okay the release of an album of a suspected child R-word and murderer. He's independent now. Apparently he's been dropped. I don't think that's what people thought was happening. David has been supposedly dropped from his label and owns all of his music now as a result of that. So it would track that he would be self-releasing the album without a record deal and with the help of friends and family. Okay? How does Left Boob know so much? People saying Discord server URL to this? Where is this activity going on? Why are random people like knowing what's going on? And shout out Big Mycologist, we know what you're on. We've seen you in the last video. So here is where Mega Cutie, all right, Left Boob, this guy, the same person who claimed to have access to David's accounts, his YouTube account, and exposed his YouTube searches, he pops back up, all right? He pops back up, and I got some stuff from Discord. I've actually got some of the Discord here, okay? So this was the account. Obviously, I showed you this at the start of the video. You know too much. You know way too much about what's going on, if you ask me. It's a bit sus. A little bit sus how much you know, okay? So basically, people on Reddit were saying David got hacked. Mega Cutie actually explained exactly what had gone down behind the scenes. Let me try and zoom in a little bit more. By the way, we didn't get brought up in the Trapmore Ross vid. D4 Hub shows in a comment. Whoopsie. All right, you've been rumbled. Let me make this big. But that's it. Great. Left Boob says Grail. So wait, is SDE still dropping? Left Boob's got all the info, right? He's got a PS5. A minute ago, he was exposing David for his PS5 and his, you know, personal YouTube searches in a TikTok that got deleted that he posted himself to spread awareness, all right? Said, oh, I meant to talk about that. Someone apparently got access to one of the team's admin's accounts for David and altered the profile pics and shit. A lot more than and shit. However, nobody was aware because, I mean, last place to check would have been an admin's account. Really? Zero idea how that happened, by the way. No deluxe. As of now. Shout out to my guy for figuring it out, though, instead of just continuing to view all the stuff. Terribly unfortunate, though, for actual fans, but I'm sure they can understand. How come, all right, how come when you posted that TikTok, all right, your name is Will, Mega QE, all right, and you obtained these accounts from David himself. You thought you wanted to post these for the public and the media. This is useful to the public. The facade David placed in all my time knowing him surprises me greatly. I'm surprised he's gone down this terrible path. You never said specifically that you did it, that you thought you did it. This is all looking like a psyop to me, to be completely honest with you. Because here, you're exposing disturbing secrets. You want justice for Celeste. But now, you're saying it's unfortunate for actual fans who want to hear his music. What do you mean actual fans? This guy ain't got no fans, no devastated. What do you mean we're all devastated? True, all of us. You a fan. You a David fan playing both sides, playing in our face. This ain't making no sense, gang. So they said they also started submitting stuff too. I'm confused about that part. They said, yeah, the people who compromised it, yeah. So basically, let me explain, because not many people probably know how Spotify artist shit works. You can have team members, you can give some of those people admin, and they basically have the same level as like the artist does. So then Mega QT basically sends a message, allegedly on behalf of David's management team. You're working for David's management, but you're posting stuff like this, and you're posting the videos of David's search history on YouTube. Now I think that was completely fake to muddy the waters, and now I think you're playing both sides, all right? And I think this is a plan from David's team. So I will throw my hands up and say I think that those YouTube search results were fake. I think I was duped at the time, and I think that is being put out there as a psyop to muddy the waters and try and give David a defense. Allegedly, in my opinion, all right? So apparently this was posted around. Album is cancelled. I need some time to relax and bounce on dick. I'll release new music when I feel like it. Okay? Expect most of everything to revert within the next week. Reversions are being made to the account. On behalf of David's team, I would like to apologize for the inconvenience. You're speaking on behalf of David's team. Were you speaking on behalf of David's team when you posted this? Were you speaking on behalf of David's team when you shared all this nonsense? Were you? Was this all a bunch of bullshit on behalf of David's team to muddy the waters and try and give him a defense? Is that how dumb you think we are? You're speaking on behalf of the David team. What are we doing here? Why are you speaking on behalf of the David team? Why is that happening? Why is that allowed? What are you doing? Who are you? This is crazy. So that's mental, to be honest with you. That's actually mental. So you've got these random guys on Discord that are speaking on behalf of David's team. They know a lot about this album release, right? I said, How was it said that it was on the 16th? And they said they still have no idea about that. However, it's gone now. They said, maybe you're right, Jay. You said July 17th, but you never said what year. They said no one gave authorization for a post. So you're knowing who's authorizing posts. You're a part of David's team. In order for it to have even been posted, it would have had to have gone through DST. It says July 17th, 2036. So now they're cracking jokes. People saying insanely weird that somebody was able to post that. You know what? I got to give the hacker props for changing the cover to a solo version. That's the thing. That's why it's nonsense. Oh, the hacker. You got to give the hacker props for changing the cover to a solo version where they photoshopped out the images of the other children in the picture that were damning and offensive and looked like they had limbs missing. And you tell me some random hacker did all of that and changed the animated background images that are on all of David's songs. Give me a break. It's nonsense. So this is all a big, this was all a big psyop, and so was this, in my opinion, now at this stage, okay? It's ridiculous. Bet, new day, guys, get hyped. These are people that love David, they love his music, and they want him to release music. Anyway, management wanted me to just basically say that everything would be reverted. You are in communication with David's management, and you're spreading messages on their behalf. This is insanity. This is disgraceful. MegaQT also claimed the Spotify changes use official assets, not fan-made ones. Oh, okay. So that cover art where they edited out, so some hacker was so genius that they edited out the animated figures that were kind of sus from the original Mars Essence cover to a blank one that just had David. They went through all of that. People are saying, so Left Boob says, management wanted me to say that everything would be reverted. Someone said, well, is that cover an official asset though? And they said, not to get your hopes down. Not to get your hopes down. What? So something's still coming. And the animated cover, they said, hold on, the gospel album isn't owned by UMG, right? They're saying apparently it was. All of the stuff was legit assets according to management. Okay, so those animated videos, so you're telling me the hacker hacked David's management, got his new album cover, didn't Photoshop it himself. No. He hacked David's management and got his new album cover that they had planned to release. Yes, they confirmed all of the stuff was legit assets according to management. So he does have a new album cover. He does plan to release music. He does have animated backgrounds for all of his old songs to promote his new album. That was all legit. But the hacker, a hacker got all of that and put it on David's account to pretend like they were going to release the actual album with the legit assets that were actually planned to be released. Give me a break. You guys got exposed for doing a rollout and you pulled back. Allegedly, in my opinion. All right? Nonsense. It said, so is the album still dropping though? Is his Spotify actually changing crap? People said, no idea how people got it at all. No idea how people got the genuine actual assets for the album and then hacked the Spotify to put up the planned rollout and then pulled it back after you all got exposed by me and others. Right? They probably had them on there somewhere in the database or something. So they also, so you mean to believe, so they had put all of the new album covers and rollout plans and animated videos and the bio, all right? They just guessed the bio. They had it in a database or something somewhere on Spotify, all right? And then that person, so that hacker, so geniusly did their rollout for them exactly as they had planned and put it in a database and scheduled it. And then you all said, no, we were hacked with all of the real stuff. We were hacked. All of the real stuff we were planning to release in the rollout got hacked and then released for us. And then we pulled it back after we got exposed. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So Left Boob would confirm the deluxe album is on the way. It's all real, but it's just a hacker tried to put it out before everyone else could. Sure. Said, yeah, they were all assets that were planned for version 2, I'd assume, with all the features stripped. You assumed, you know, a little too much, buddy. They said, all solos. They said, I mean, I would think it wouldn't have any features other than Julia Wolf and Hunjin. I said, full stop, not to get your hopes down. Could Glue drop as a single officially? People saying, what the F happened? I said, again, like it's been said for a while now, the deluxe is still supposed to drop, just nobody knows when. We knew when for a little bit, and then you guys got cold feet, right? I said, nothing's dropping, it was a hacker. So this person who has a direct line to David's team and is speaking on behalf of David's team and his management, he's confirming it's being dropped, but he's saying nobody knows when. You know when. It was supposed to drop. It was supposed to drop, all right? Nothing's dropping. It was a hacker. And with all the stuff happening right now, I don't think it would be anytime soon. Yo can r/DavidIdiots accept my post. You guys tried to drop, all right? You tried to drop, and you got smoked, all right? You got smoked. And so basically after this, all right, somebody popped up on Reddit on r/DavidIdiots, and they claimed to be a Discord moderator, and then they would make some pretty bold, unfounded claims. basically making it very clear how they knew all the details about this hoax, all right? The hoax that was a real album that was planned to be released with all the real assets that they got hold of. Imagine that. Imagine doing you can't really call it a hoax, all right? If I say I'm going to do the Grand Theft Auto 6 hoax and I download the actual real game and leak it, it's not really a hoax, is it? It's not really a hoax if I get the real assets, the real game, and put it up for everyone to see, and then they take it down quickly to cover it. It's not hoax. That's just a thing that's just you getting exposed. So basically, they would claim that the release was a hoax and all the details came from their friend W. Oddly enough, W. So this is why these guys are so dumb. My friend who we'll call W. Whose name starts with a W? What, Mega Cutie, my name is Will. What, Will? When you say W, do you mean Will? You talking about Will? Are you talking about Will when you say my friend W that seems to know everything that's going on in the David team? All right. This is crazy. So it says Marcescent's releasing was a hoax. Explanation. All right. You want us to believe it was a hoax now because it was basically you got exposed. Hello, D4 Hub. Hello, David for D4 Hub. Discord server owner here. There's been a recent hoax relating to David's deluxe album dropping on the 17th, and I'm here to clean up any rumors and deliver the real truth. So basically, a quick explanation on Spotify for artists. For people who may not know, on Spotify for artists, you can be set up as the main artist and add team members, which can then be given admin that have the same permissions as the artist, who can change pics, bios, songs, add releases, and remove releases, etc. My friend, who we'll call W, yeah? He knows a guy who's been on the Spotify artist team for David's profile since 2024. He sends W a Discord DM one day showing that stuff on David's profile is being turned in. These screenshots then make their way to my server and soon all over Reddit, and people are freaking out. Turns out, somebody managed to gain access to a login for another team member on the profile and started changing pictures and uploading stuff. Oh, just stuff. Just a bit of stuff. Just a bit of the actual album artwork that we've now confirmed in those Discord messages is actually the real artwork they plan to release from the album. Just stuff like literal animated assets that they then rolled out to every single David song so that they could promote his new album on all of his old music. Just some stuff. Just a little stuff that you really need to know your shit to be in the industry to actually know how to navigate. Just little stuff. All right? And there was no clear motive as to why they did this, Cap, or who did it. But most likely they were trying to stir stuff up to cause backlash. But all it was a hacker getting into an account like most people thought. Hope this helps. You think we're dumb, sir. You think we're stupid, right? You think I have 0 brain cells. They did all of this, all right? No motive. I know everything that's going on behind the scenes, exactly what happened, but I don't know who, and I don't know the motive, all right? And my friend W just gave me all the inside info apart from the two things that are really important, the motive and why they did this. They were just trying to stir stuff up to cause backlash. What, with the real assets? With the actual real assets, they were trying to cause backlash. Give me a break. You plan to release David and your team, you plan to release the album, and then either A, you plan to release the album and you rolled it back because you knew it was going to get backlash and you got cold feet and realized this is a really bad look. Or you did all this on purpose to muddy the waters so that you could have a defense and say all of David's social media accounts are owned by loads of people. Someone else in the team could have been communicating with Celeste. Nonsense, all right? But who knows, man? Who knows? The judge might not be so savvy. The jury might not be so savvy. This kind of stuff is going to help David, unfortunately. So it says most of the stuff that was been changed has been reverted back to normal, except for the new animated canvas art for Withered songs. Some dumb random hacker is not creating animated canvas art and putting all those on there. Give me a break. There's no way. That's amazing to know. Relief knowing no new music is coming out in the middle of this situation. Little did you know, behind the scenes, they was trying to make a play. Even the commenter is W. Will. Hi, Will. And even the original poster's got eyeballs thinking, how did you work that out? It's not hard, all right? So the project's been released for the longest time. We've been known that the project's been released. It's been leaked. It's been about, all right? We saw... I exposed that, it looked like David's team was selling vinyls, allegedly, in my opinion, under the guise of it being a friend who's keeping all the money, all right? Let's be real, the album wasn't even that good. Yes, it's a deluxe, but it doesn't mean it should have been full of withered throwaways. His music's all terrible, all right? Music's all terrible. He sucks, all right? He sucks. Let's not even get into, actually, the details of why he sucks. Not going to lie, what the F is the point? And how do we trust you? You could be someone testing his page to see if it's still manageable. Got him. All right, got him. Okay, it could be someone from his team family testing to see the reaction when his Spotify's updated. Smart people on this Reddit. Some smart cookies in here. Okay, they're probably just testing the waters to see what they can do with his back catalogue. Honestly, I thought it was his mom fucking about with things. You smart. I'll show you some more in a minute. Can OP confirm if his mom is one of these trusted individuals with access? No, she's not. Neither is any of his family. I hope that doesn't turn out to be a lie. Hope that's not a demonstrable lie. All right? Imagine still supporting this dog and trying to associate yourself with a murder. Will, why are you doing that? Source, trust me, bro. Yeah, right. It was probably his little brother, and they're really thinking they're going to release it. I really think they're going to release it because his family owns David ENT now. Okay? So when I saw someone like boldly proclaiming that it was a hoax, you know, I just thought, yeah, okay, this is just, you guys are backtracking, okay? You're either trying to muddy the waters and make it a defense so that you could say, oh, David's got these accounts, all these people are logged in. Could have been anyone ordering the Uber for the little girl that got murdered. Could have been, all right? So there's more discussion that David's parents are behind this, all right? Couldn't possibly be David's parents. Couldn't possibly be his mother, could it? Could it? David's parents are the ones overseeing the deluxe album. Colleen M. Roberts Burke. Company, David ENT LLC. Oh, no. Oh, no. You're an officer. David Burke is the owner and the director. His father, Dawood Burke, is a member. David ENT LLC, a branch of David ENT LLC, a Delaware corporation, was incorporated 4 years ago. What? What? So you do have power to do things. Shout out to this commenter. So David ENT, who is dropping the deluxe album, and it's being overseen by his parents. They're knowingly profiting off of this for their own financial gain. Also, it's trap more gang or it's nothing. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. But for real, we're just trying to get to the bottom of this. We're just trying to get to the truth, okay? What do you mean dropping the deluxe album? I thought this was debunked and it wasn't coming out. Oh, it wasn't so debunked after all, was it? Was it? It was a botched mess, right? Listen, this is my understanding. It won't. Don't worry. All right. Hey, I know you. I've got a few things to say specifically about you. Say it, please. I've got a few H2 bugs I can say too. Try to tell me he wasn't dropped from his label and that his masters weren't owned by him. Argue with me about the shit. I don't think this person does anything else with their lives but post on these subs. Better than being in David's Discord and working for his team. The last change update on it from the source, agents registered from David ENT, was 14th of July. So something's happening within the company. Apparently it's still coming out, but not right now, as we've seen. Exactly. The parents have never commented about Celeste or what happened to her. They all sat with her at her son's concert, so they can't say they didn't know her. It is shameful. It's disgusting, disgraceful. To be honest, it's kind of obvious why they never commented about Celeste. It's common to stay quiet if your son's involved with a crime. I agree with you 100%, but I don't think a proper response is to release a deluxe album while the trial's ongoing. Facts. All right, if it was me in the David situation, which it never would be, my mum would disown or sell me out to the cops on the night of the show when she's seen how old she looked. I guess I was just raised with morals, though. Effing Hollyweird. Okay? Effing Hollyweird. All right? Shameful always from the Burks. Colleen and Dawood Burke are fake Christians. People saying it was a kid who hacked into his Spotify for artists. LMAO. Get your shit straight. Cap. Proven cap. Proven cap. All right? Calling them shameful for getting hacked is insane. Cap. We know it's a lie. Did they get hacked or did David give them the login? Why is there activity from a few days ago and why is the company still active after their demon kid killed a child? People said it was a hoax. It's not. It's not a hoax. It was never a hoax. Allegedly, in my opinion. Right? Didn't his account get hacked and the deluxe isn't dropping? Oh, they just managed to hack all of the original assets. Yeah, cap. All right? And Will got the PlayStation from Colleen. Will/Mega is the one who's announcing it was a hoax. So is Will/Mega involved in this? Is he working for the family? They think we're dumb. They're playing in our faces. They think we're dumb, but we're not. Here's one of the David's idiots that doesn't understand he's being used to cover up a crime. There's some smart people in here. Are they profiting when the lawyers need to be paid? Lawyers are pretty expensive. Solid work, Phil, all right? Thank you. Ultimately, this is for Celeste, so no thanks needed. In fact, this account will be deleted once again after my work is done. More to come, though. Next piece of evidence will show hundreds and hundreds of purchased Reddit accounts in bulk that have flooded a certain subreddit. Phil, get up with me. Phil's doing excellent work. Shout out to Phil, man. Get up with your boy. If you can show me hundreds of Reddit accounts that have flooded the certain subreddit, and we know what Reddit you're talking about, not this one, okay? I need to see that. That'll be a follow-up. I cannot wait for that, right? Drop it like it's hot. I'm saving this comment. So why would anyone want to listen to the music of a PDF child, Kaya, who did a yeah, we know the details, right? Who would support their child and his horrendous acts and find a way to profit off it? It's disgusting and disrespectful. Rest in peace and power to Celeste, all right? Said, I mean, why not really? There's still money to be made. He's toast. At least cash in. Created 4 years ago. So what was he using the LLC before? Maybe his clothing. Upon digging, I found trademarks. The word D4VD, David, had a trademark application filed on January 2024 to protect the use of his artist name, and a stylized design, a logo for the David brand, filed in January 2024, officially registered November 2025, after Celeste was found and identified in the car, shockingly. The trademarks registered to cover clothing and apparel, including hoodies, sweatshirts, etc. All right, cool. High key seems like his LLC team is testing the waters to see public reaction to his Spotify changes. Facts, in my opinion, allegedly. Of course, they wouldn't let an estate go this big go to waste. Yes, also, trap law is a goat. Thank you. I'm very kind of you, all right? I'm just doing my best out here. And you guys are doing exceptional work, and I'm just kind of following along and participating. Anyway, it was created 2022 as an independent label. I'll be on hush mode when you talk about his parents, because my ma has literally hid from me and helped me slip out the back door when I was on the run. Interesting. Hi, I'm Phil Puller, the professional file puller. All of this is public information. Shout out to Phil Puller, man, the professional file puller. I'm rocking with you, okay? So last couple things I'll share with you, okay? What is interesting, and I wonder if this was a double-faced attempt to try and make it look like this was a hacker, because on the 17th of July, as teased, David did release Marcescence, but as a song, as a single one-piece song. Now, this is more the type of shit that a hacker might do, or this might have been the team, or it might have been Will, or it might have been whoever was responsible for this nonsense, putting this out to then make it seem like, look, see, it was a hacker. It was a hacker. Well, why didn't the hacker this time have the proper artwork? The first hacker had all of the official artwork that was confirmed and a bunch of animated stuff. This hacker just has a crappy picture that David took in his bathroom. None of this makes sense, but this did release. He released. It was a song, right? It dropped, and then it was suddenly made unavailable, right? Had a little 29-second video of David filming himself to go with it. Said it's still on the app for me, playable as of now. Interesting, because it says uploaded 4 hours ago. Apparently it was up for 8 hours, okay? People saying, where is it? I can't find it on Spotify. They're saying they took it off Spotify. It's still up on YouTube. So this is the video that was uploaded. This isn't on an official David channel, but this is the content. This is the piece of footage that was there, okay? This is what was put up on the 17th, and I believe it was to muddy the waters. But this gives a little bit of backstory about it. So I Think She Knows is an unreleased song recorded on March the 4th, 2025 in the Withered Sessions that was first previewed in a Twitch stream by David. The track ended up leaking on April 20th, 2026 in a mass flood leak. The song was later uploaded under the title Marcescence with the music video to Spotify on January the 17th, 2026 and taken down just a couple hours later. I managed to screen record the music video and download the song in full lossless quality just in time to archive it. It's still unknown if the song was uploaded to David's Spotify by his parents and team or a hacker by someone random who had access to his account. Do you think at this stage in the game, when everything's gotten this serious as it's gotten, do you think David's team have got random people having access to the Spotify? I just don't believe it. I don't find it believable. I don't find it feasible. I think that this is official. I think it's the team. I think they're testing the waters. And I think they were trying to see if this is something they could get away with. And when they took it all down and they didn't, I think that it's highly possible that they threw this out there to basically make it seem like, look, see, we got random people uploading songs. Oh, we can't keep control of the situation. When you got all the official artwork coming out before, all right? Interesting as F to me, okay? I think something's going on here. Yeah, it's crazy, okay? So a lot of people, they're just saying it's disgusting, you shouldn't be streaming, they're disgusted. I clicked the YouTube link and listened. Everyone in this team needs to be arrested, okay? If this continues at the company, he shouldn't be allowed to make money, all right? It's his own company. The label dropped him. They gave him back all of his masters. He can't really sue until he's convicted. And even then, he's not talking about this case at all. He's allowed to profit still. Music falls under the First Amendment umbrella. Even with his imminent conviction coming up, he'll still be an American citizen with rights. This is a really good point. I want to spread this. It says, people, if you must listen to his crappy music in any way, if you must listen to it, only use YouTube because he's demonetized. He doesn't profit from YouTube at all. They won't allow him to make money after this case came out. Spotify and Apple Music, however, still pays him for streams and plays. So do not access his music there since he was dropped from his management team and label. That means all rights to his music is now him and he gets all of his profits. Do not allow him to profit. If you have to analyze stuff, either use Genius Lyrics or YouTube. All right, that's it. Let's not support this scumbag, alleged scumbag, but we've seen enough. We know the truth. So yeah, so it was removed, and this is people reacting to it being removed, and you can no longer play David's new release today on Spotify. All right, grade it out. Took her down. It's gone. Okay, it's gone. All right, and it's got the lyrics from the song. Said, I hide my face from you, but my lies conceal the truth. We know. But what you going to do, oh, what you going to do if you don't even have the proof? Who said I even know? Heat. I'm wasting my time whenever you cry. It's so obvious that you can't help what you know. You sign up for me, and every night as you lay by my side, so obvious. Heat. He's playing in our faces. Him and all of them are playing in our faces, right? People saying we never wanted to hear the song. What's the song actually called? There isn't a song on his leaked catalogue called Essence. It's the name of the double album to Withered. This has now made it incredibly obvious that this is just a hacking goofball and not somebody in any way related to David. I don't think so. I think they're quite smart. Definitely just people hacking and putting shit up. But remember, this is the D4VD subreddit, which is completely compromised. The song is called I Think She Knows, and it wasn't even listed as one of the songs on the deluxe. Okay? Everyone hates him. This is sort of an analysis. I don't think we need to get into this. But basically, I think this was official. I think, you know, I forgot he wasn't he was releasing anything. Wasn't it proven to be a hoax or something? It's a hoax. I've debunked this before. This is the guy who put the other post up. Some hackers got in and started uploading random shit. You know, random stuff that was the official artwork that they somehow got. The official animations. It's nonsense, right? Do not trust this man. This account cannot be trusted, right? And the account's not even been active for very long, right? They've not. This is a new account, right? They've left their comments active, which is definitely a bad idea, right? It's a hoax. It's leaked everywhere. It's a hoax. Oh, I think she knows it's old. It's a hoax explanation. All of your comments are just about debunking things and saying things are fake, right? What was this? Post was deleted, taken out of context. Fake, right? Just, it's a David defense account. The only posts on here, the only things on here are things that are trying to muddy the waters and clean things up for David. That's the only purpose of this account, all right? This is the astroturfing that's going on, okay? So, look, you get the gist. I don't need to keep reading things over and over again, but why is this guy in these comments arguing so much? I think these people are part of David's team. I think it's a psyop. I think that this was potentially a planned release. They're clearly very smart. They've clearly got a lot of money and resources. They're probably testing things out. They're probably testing features. They're probably seeing the response to a potential album drop and teasing it and then backtracking and saying that it was a hoax when it was real and it was the real artwork. And then they are putting out a song to make it a performance that makes it look like it's a hoax when actually this was official. And I wonder whether this is going to be part of the defense. Nothing gets by me. Shout out to all of the great people on these subreddits that are doing great work. F you, put a K behind all of the people that are on these subreddits doing David's dirty work, allegedly, muddying the waters, making it seem, you know, harder to get to the truth. But I'll throw my hands up and say, I don't think that the David YouTube search history was real. Now, with context, now that we've seen these same people that were supposedly exposing David not so long ago, suddenly running defense for him, suddenly doing this hoax narrative. None of it gets by us. And I know they're fuming because every time they pull a little play, they think they got away with it. And then within a few days, your boy Trapmore Ross pops out and absolutely destroys their facade. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to do some more updates about David over the next few days. Obviously, there's big trial dates coming up next week. I might not be there because, unfortunately, it does seem like there have been some very shady things going on behind the scenes, and they're going to be restricting access to the courtroom, which is absolutely not... I don't want to say anything that's going to get me put on a list. So I'm just going to say that I think that some really bad faith decisions have been made to restrict access to the courtroom. SF Investigators have been talking about it. I'm going to try my best to get in there, but it does seem like they are really, really working hard to kind of like keep people out of the proceedings going forward, which is just really, really shocking, especially considering how open and transparent things have been up to this point. So I will see you guys in the next video. I'll give you guys some update on all of that stuff when I do have some information. Thank you for watching this video. We will hold everybody's feet to the fire no matter what. Even if I'm not in that courtroom, you best believe I'm going to be getting to the bottom of all of the information and giving it to you guys as soon as possible. All right, sooner than some of these people that are even going to be in the courtroom, if that makes sense. I'm going to be getting everything and giving it to you guys before folks can even rattle it off. I'm going to get you absolutely all of the information, whether I have to go into the courtroom, whether I have to send people in there, whether I have to have sources that are in there that are giving me the information as soon after. I'm going to get all of the information and broadcast it to you guys because we need transparency, we need justice for Celeste, and that's all that matters. And I'll find out what's going on with all of that, but it is unfortunate. I'm going to try my best. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. I'm out, people. Peace.